one or two or something like that. All right, hey, whoa, sorry. Yeah, we're like mid-sentence there, man. Hey, guys, listen. I'm so excited. Dude, tell me how to say your last name.
Balzer.
Okay, that's exactly what I thought. Okay,
yeah, just
got it.
Real simple.
Yeah, Mr. Driver of Klaus the Barbarian. Carl, the coolest dude at Indianapolis, Cletus and Cars, for sure. Let us come up and park by you, and certainly appreciated that. We're going to tell that story in just a little bit. Guys, fun. I'm excited. Everybody's here. We're in episode 91 or 2, episode 6 of the 12 Pods of Christmas. I'll tell you, it's been more. I've struggled more with it than I thought I would. You know, I was like, man, 12 Pods of Christmas. Danny Fatka hit me with it. He's like, dude, this would be so much fun. I'm like, yes, talking to people. I love it. Let's go. Man, it's going to be by night 8 or 9, I'm going to be in trouble. I'm telling you. But coming up. Oh, dude. So we've got you tonight, which I think this one's going to be a ton of fun. You're hilarious. All your videos are funny. I love this stuff. Obviously, I love what's behind you. You know, Klaus the Barbarian is full insanity, twin turbo LS, BMW based Exocart. Love it. And all the other cool stuff you guys get into on your channel. Tons of racing, tons of Cletus events. And then tomorrow night we have Tom and Blaine Stark. They're trying to get the daughter Mac in there to talk about PRI, the upcoming Cletus and Cars Christmas tree race that they're in with the 55 wagon. And then Sunday at 3 o'clock, y'all, Lyle Barnett, the Mr. Lyle Barnett is going to be on.
I'm going to be watching that one for sure.
Dude, I'm so ready.
Lyle's so cool. We hung out with him during the last Cletus and Cars. That's such a cool dude.
Right? He I don't know. I'll get all fangirly if we start talking about it. He's a total badass. Dude, tell everybody, introduce yourself. I know I kind of just laid some shit on them there, but introduce yourself and then tell them where they can find you, all the social media handles and all that kind of stuff.
Well, Carl Balzer, the owner of Hidden Motorsports, along with I got a whole bunch of buddies. You guys have seen them all the videos who help out and do random things. We got website, hiddenmotorsports.com, Facebook, Hidden Motorsports. Instagram is hidden_motorsports. And then if you want to see strictly Klaus stuff, there we go. That's how we can point it. He's just Klaus the Barbarian on Instagram, and you can check him out. Then we got, the YouTube channel, Hidden Motorsports, where we do a lot of car-related stuff. We do pit bike, mini bike stuff. Also race motorcycles. We're trying to get into go-karts. I do a lot of how-to videos because I feel if I'm working on my car or a customer's car, why not just show you guys how to do it too, so you can save some bucks and start to learn how you are? Because I don't know about you, but back in like the 2000s, we went on the forums and tried to find videos of, hey, I don't have $300 to do this repair, so let me try to look it up and do it myself. So we're just trying to pass it on to the next generation.
Right. That's awesome. How's the background noise? It's raining like crazy right here.
Oh, yeah, you can kind of hear
a
little bit, but your voice is definitely overpowering. You just kind of hear a little shh.
All right, good. That's just another reason why I need to wall in this other wall, and we can control some sound in here. That's the first time that's actually happened that I've been on the live stream in the shop. So usually if it was raining really hard, I'd be inside. So, all right, well, dude, let's get into it. I've got to thank the folks that made this possible first. Yeah, Andy's Computer Repair we talked about before. Without that dude, I wouldn't be in the shop recording.
It's really loud.
It's really raining.
You have to talk a little bit louder.
Yeah, I'll scoot up here a little bit. I'll adjust the mic here, just say. And then Hawashi Tire and Lube. We just crossed 3,000 subs, so it's time for a 300-foot burnout attempt, round 2 for the old truck. And then obviously the guys that made this room happen. Tom Stark, love that dude. Again, he's on tomorrow. Dino Cardella, Donovan Green, Tyler Petrum, Matt Monroe, who was on 2 nights ago, Ryan Wing, who was on 3 nights ago, and Big Bad Daddy, the Cowboy Yankee, John Marat. Love those guys. They donated to the cause, and without them, we wouldn't have been able to buy material. So
that's awesome.
So love that. Yeah. Dirty Panda says he thought it was a fan. No, not a fan. It is raining big time. So as long as it doesn't hail, I think we can probably work through it.
Yeah.
So again, just another reason I need to finish walling in the end of the shop. Well, dude, let's get into it now that I've blabbered for 5 minutes.
Okay.
That's why this takes so long. So start us out, like, one, kind of tell us what Hidden Motorsports does. Like what you guys, the workload that comes in there. Is it a fun shop? Is it kind of that stuff? And then lead us into Klaus.
So yeah, what Hidden Motorsports is, it started up as the name. People are like, why is it called Hidden Motorsports? And I'm like, honestly, I don't know. For some reason, that name stuck with me for the longest time. And I actually had a high school notebook where I labeled something Hidden Motorsports and cars I wanted to design. Because I originally went to school to be a mechanical engineer and do all the CAD drawings for cars. And then I realized I hate sitting down at a computer all day. So stopped that. But there's a lot of, hey, you know how to work on a car. Do you want to fix mine? Started off at that and then got more and more. And then then I got a BMW. And working on a BMW is ridiculously overpriced and expensive. So I'm like, if you can do it, I can do it myself.
Right.
Taught everything myself. Started getting involved with another group of guys that started buying BMWs. And then another guy who was a master tech for a BMW. And we started kind of doing it at side work. And then it started snowballing more and more and more to, like, right now we're booked like 3 months out. Like, there's guys wanting engine swaps, turbo upgrades. I'm like, do this. So like, oh, are you that busy? I'm like, because we all have very good daytime jobs. Like, I build houses during the day and I got a 5-month-old at home. So it's like, I got nights and weekends when I can kind of work on customer cars, but then I have all my projects over there in the background when I can do that. And then it just got bigger and bigger. We got a little 6-car garage. That's actually one of my buddies who does all the work with it. We work out of his garage for all the big stuff.
Yeah.
And just keep going. The word just gets around. So basically, like, around the Toledo area within an hour, if on any Facebook page someone's like, hey, I got a BMW with a problem, we just get tagged 400 times in it because we've dealt with every single problem. And we don't like to rip people off. Like, that's our main thing. We tell people is we don't have a big shop and overhead. I'm not doing this to get all my money because I got to provide for my family. This is my fun money. So hopefully my wife, who might be watching, doesn't yell at me for spending all the money. So I'm like, this is our fun money. So we charge like kind of half, and people respect that and just kind of go for there. Like, we're not in the business of lying or anything like that. We're just real chill, keep it as it is.
Well, so I'm the same way on narcoleptic stuff. We turned wrenches out here building fun stuff because I didn't want to pull, house money to pay for my car stuff. Like, to buy car parts, I work on people's stuff sometimes. I typically don't do maintenance type stuff. It's generally upgrades and builds and things like that. We've actually slacked off quite a bit from that to focus more on YouTube and hopefully get some of that monetization in there. You know? So
hey, we're still waiting for that. We got like 1,000 and some subscribers. But since I don't have enough time to do daily uploads or everything, we can't get the minutes watched to make up for it, which it's all for fun. I'm not like, that's how I am, like, with life and everything. I'm not in it for the money. This is all because I want to, and it's fun. I actually didn't start the YouTube channel until Klaus was done because I didn't care that much. I'm like, I'm building it for me. I don't care about YouTube fame. And then finally, so many people were like, you have to do it. So I'm like, okay. So the first video was kind of like, here's what I did. Here's how I built it. Kind of thing.
That's awesome. And so we followed the document, don't create type adage there from Gary Vee, and that's why we started recording, was because I know at some point in my life I'm not going to remember all this stuff. So I figured, hey, I'm going to have all these videos when I get old to show my grandkids.
That's actually why too I do it a lot too, because my grandparents and family members we don't see a lot, they get the notifications and they're like, hey, we just saw the latest video, that's so awesome that you're doing this. So I don't even care if my videos have 10 subscribers. If they're family members who can't wait to see it, that's good enough for me.
Well,
it's fun.
And dude, it's so good. Like, we were at home, back home for Thanksgiving, and my family there was like, oh yeah, we caught this or we caught that. You've been traveling a bunch with the car. I mean, things like that. And, they would never know that because I literally never talked to them, except once or twice a year at some event, so it's a great way to keep everybody connected.
Let me turn this off. Sorry, heater kicked on.
That's all right. As he slides out of the way, you can kind of see, walk us through, give us like a 10,000 foot flyover of Klaus, because dude, it's so cool.
Well, Klaus started out as a 93 BMW 325. I actually saw it from Cletus. This was probably 4 or 5 years ago when he was just starting out.
Mm-hmm.
He got Leroy and just basically put an exo cage on him. And I was like, hey, that looks fun. I'd love to do that, but with a BMW or something. Then we saw a BMW that was heading towards the junkyard and ended up just buying it, paying them for scrap price. I was like, yeah, let's LS swap that and we'll make it like a Mad Max car, beat the crap out of it. It won't be anything nice or expensive. We'll have $2,000 into it. Famous last words. And then, snowball effect. Well, we got it built. It took me about a year because I knew nothing about, oh, yeah. Right there's a picture of the chassis because there are some guys that are just like, why would you ruin a BMW chassis like that? That's classic. I'm like, this was a 300,000 mile, $400 rust bucket. I saved it from going to a junkyard.
And at the end of the day, dude, it's a 3 Series. It's not like it's a 7 Alpina or something like that. You know what I mean?
Exactly. It was nothing. Oh, the inside stunk so bad. It was such a piece of crap car. So we just stripped off everything. Yep. We got a LS engine. Well, it was a 5.3 out of a Silverado, complete junk. Got it for $300. I rebuilt it myself in this tent right there. People like to make fun of me, but I only have a 1-car garage, which has our motorcycles in it. So I bought this little $100 Harbor Freight tent and I built the entire car in that, which kind of explains why he is some ways. Oh yeah, there's tearing everything apart, getting into the shell. And so many people at this stage, like I said, I'm going to exo cage it, LS swap it, turbo it someday. They were all like, yeah, right. People say that's never going to happen. In the area, there was a lot of hate. You're not going to do that. That's stupid. Never going to work. And then started getting more and more. That was the cage revision 1 right there. And my buddy Mark, he's Next Gen Fab that built it. He's a dirt racer. So that's why the front bumper was kind of angled like that. And I was like, we got to change that. He's like, oh, it's like our dirt track cars. I'm like, that's just one thing I got to change. That's it. That's the only thing.
Man, I was going to say that far out, I'm going to run that into something.
Exactly.
I'm gonna hook that on the back of a truck hitch or something.
Yeah, I kind of gave him the plans. Took a bunch of pictures of the car, bare shell, and I laminated the screens and got a dry erase marker, and I kind of drew up how I thought the cage would be. And yeah, this picture was actually, I guess, an early fan. He was like, "Oh yeah, so you want it to look something like this someday?" I'm like, "Oh yeah, someday if I'm ever rich and have money, I'd love to do an LS twin turbo." What do you know? That's
awesome.
And then when it started to get painted and stuff, people are like, okay, it's getting kind of serious now. This actually looks kind of cool.
Yeah.
And we just kept going from there. And it took about a year to get everything right. Yeah. One of the good fans, I forgot his name. He sent me that. He's like, I want Klaus to look like this someday. I'm like, oh yeah, me too. And
you're like, yes, that looks awesome.
Boom. Right there in the background.
Just screwed
get all that.
That's
funny.
Hang on, let me get that pulled back up. So walk us through the drivetrain progression. So obviously truck, probably 5.3, right?
Yep, there's a 5.3 with a couple 100,000 miles on it.
Yep.
I just did a oil pump and gasket refresher, nothing crazy because Klaus wasn't supposed to snowball. It was going to stay at 200 horsepower rat rod or whatever. So we did a bunch of donuts, and then me and my buddy Brandon were out doing a whole lot more drifting. And we went through 2 sets of tires, went back home, changed, went back out. And after one drift, we just heard the knock, 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 knock. I was like, crap. And yeah, that was real fun. So we drove it back home, still knocking. And we figured, well, hey, if it needs a new motor, we might as well go all out. So
then, if you're in there.
Yeah. We're in this far. So we ended up getting with Texas Speed, and they sent me all the internals for 5.3, so I had the block machined out. Then I had accelerated performance, put everything together. So I had a Lingenfelter heads, 5.3 motor, fully built. And then we got some eBay Chinese choo-choos that I threw on top of it. These turbos were literally $79 a piece off eBay, brand new.
That's awesome.
And so many people, they
gave
me crap.
What's crazy is yeah, dude, but think of the amount of real beating that turbo is going to take. You're really going to drive that car 5,000 miles. You know what I mean? Those turbos are going to last 5,000 miles.
So yeah, they were the GT35 eBay no-name turbos. And when we got it tuned, it actually made 1,149 horsepower to the wheels, which no one could believe it. They're like, those turbos won't push that. I'm like, they will with poly high ram, awesome heads, built-in turnos, E85. They'll do it. It was great.
And to the moon on boost and tuning. Carl Stevie says, "Fuck yes, I love it."
Yeah, we got the X Clutch from my buddy Steve. X Clutch is a great clutch company out of Australia. All those burnout cars use it. They're over here now. I have one of their twin disc clutches, and then actually a factory T56 Magnum. Because originally with the car, this guy up here sold me T56 for $2,000. Said it's perfect, nothing's wrong with it. I put it in the car, reverse, first, third, and fifth won't go into gear, and they grind. And then I'm like, bro, you sent me a bad transmission. He's like, installer error. I'm like, oh, installer error is why all the gears don't work.
Yeah, that's why all the gears don't work.
So we took it up to Liberty Gears, and they're like, it'll be $2,000 to fix it, or you can pay $3,000 and get the much bigger, better Magnum. And I was like, okay, we'll do that.
You're like, yeah, give me the $3,000.
Give me the better one.
Where is this picture here?
That is actually our first event when Klaus just got off the dyno. That's at Ice Cream Cruise last year. Yeah, it was last April or May. Last May.
Dude, that's awesome.
Yeah, that's awesome. So we that's when 1320 started featuring us and getting it around. And we actually won. I got the award in the house. Weirdest car of the event. We were top 50 overall. And then we won the best weirdest car, I guess is what the category was. But
dude, that's cool.
Such a great event, networking with everyone, meeting all kinds of new people. And yeah, just meeting with Garrett, he was like, you got to get this down to Cletus and cars and compete. And I'm like, yeah, that's the plan.
Let's go. So Dirty Panda was at Cletus and Cars Indy. He says there was so much to take in at Indy, and I didn't get a chance to talk to y'all much. I definitely can't wait to kick it again next year. I mean, that's
Dirty Panda's a good dude, I think.
Yeah.
Right here behind me is one of his stickers. I can't find it. But yeah, literally, I got a couple of his stickers. I got one on something over here, one on something over there. I just can't find it at the second. Yeah, he's a good dude. Oh, yeah,
that's cool.
The Ice Cream Cruise picture.
Yep.
That's my buddy Steve in the background, and then Mike up front. He's my BMW master tech that knows everything about BMWs.
So
pretty good, but it was a fun time.
To me, the BMW makes a lot of sense. One, because you guys are messing with them, but then two, the platforms are pretty good. All the pieces are great, as far as driving stuff. And then the aftermarket support of especially that body, that 3 Series body is great. I don't know what the chassis name or whatever that car is, but
E36, and that's actually, if you're going for LS Swapped World, you could pass it off to your wife as it's the most cost effective, because LS everything is ridiculously cheap. You can get a 5.3 for $300, $400.
Yep.
In the E36 chassis, they're starting to go up in price, but the aftermarket parts for them are crazy. They're all over eBay, all over everything. They make every part in the world for these cars, and they're all cheap. It's not like you have to custom make anything. You can buy all the mounts and slap it right together.
So what rear axle are you guys running in the car?
It's actually, we upgraded when we did not the bigger motor, but the better motor. It's a, what's it called? 210 millimeter large case. It's out of a BMW M5.
Oh, I got you. Cool.
Yep. I have that paired up with some M3 axles, and people say they don't hold. They're good for 800. I'm like, no, they're good for 1200.
Yeah, you're like, proven.
And they're like,
so I'm going to turn my mic off and let you talk.
No. Yeah, and they're like, once you launch it, they'll shatter it. I'm like, actually, they really don't. If you can see right here in the background, I have the big old stickies. These are 28.5 by 10.5. Those are actually very forgiving, and I've never broken an axle or anything on it. But on the daily tires on it are just the Nitto triple nickels radial tires. And the only time I've busted an axle, well, twice, is because it was wheel hopping, and I stayed into it, and you're supposed to let off of it when you're wheel hopping. But, you're all jacked up on Mountain Dew. You're just staying in the throttle while the tires are bouncing up and down. And, yeah, I've probably been on the track now, not with this new motor yet, but 9 times, and I've only made it down the drag strip 1 time because something keeps happening. It's kind of like the luck I have with this car. Like we had the motor blow up the first time, that was whatever. The second time, the motor ran great. We dynoed it, then went straight to Cletus and Cars, Florida. 2 minutes into my burnout, I noticed the temp's like at 300 degrees, and it's because the LS threw a belt, which every LS always throws belts, and it was already like 300 degrees, so I just put it to the ground and pegged it, and that's like that red and blue picture tire smoke, if you have that in there. It's absolutely crazy and so much fun. And then, he might have had a bad storm. Oh, he probably lost everything. Oh, no. He's gone. I'm messaging him. So they've got some bad storms right now going over there. And there's like tornado watches. There are all kinds of stuff. So he said, be prepared in case something dies. So I'm going to message him. Oh, there he is. But no, so we had the car, we had the first motor blow, and then we blew it up at Cletus and Cars. So if he gets back in here, which he says he will, tell you more, blew it up at Cletus and Cars, and then we built another motor, which had bed heads. Yes. He's texting me saying he can't get on because his internet's down. Power flickered and kicked out, getting back on. Just as we're talking about luck, it's so much fun. Yeah, Dirty Panda's talking about it. He's texting me. That's funny. So yeah, we had that happen. And then after we got it put back together, our next set of heads, they had a crack in them. It was like right where the spark plug was. So it was leaking there, which sucks. So then we had to tear it down again. Then we got that put back together. And after that, they welded it up and the engine let go again. Of course, we lost another engine. Built another one, and I think that's where the 6.0 came along. And right after that, we had a problem with the other heads again. Around the head studs, there was like little cracks in the chamber, and that was leaking coolant through them, causing the car to overheat, all kinds of problems. What's he saying? I'm resetting the internet on the shop, and I'll be right back on. Hopefully it's not bad like those tornadoes that they just had. Video's not worth all that. You better be safe. Did all that stuff. Oh, what? So then that brings us up to, 3 weeks ago. Oh, no. We forgot all about the accident. See, man, we need to get me back on and show you all the pictures. So a lot of you that follow us saw that 2 months ago, we got, I guess I rear-ended a lady going down the street. Klaus has been running good all summer. I'm driving home from a friend's house one night in a 2-lane road, and this lady kind of like starts to pull out from the intersection. And I'm like, oh, she'll pull into the closest lane like you're supposed to. She doesn't do that. She pulls directly into my lane, and I'm doing 45, and this is within like 15 feet. I jam on the brakes, swerve, but end up hitting her, and it like bent in the front bumper, broke headlights. All that stuff wasn't bad, but it bent in so bad that it pushed this whole strut bar all the way up. And that chassis, it was so rusted. So anyways, there's basically no saving it. So we ended up just trashing it. I'm like, there's no point. We should just start fresh with a rust-free chassis and just do the best we can. And we made that decision because another guy reached out to us. He was like, hey, I got your car, but it's in a 2-door version instead of a 4-door. If you come up here and pick it up with the trailer, you can have it. And I was like, you serious? He's like, yeah, bring me some t-shirts or some of that beer you guys always drink, which is this stuff right here. Ernest Brew Works, such good beer. Love it. So we brought him some of that beer and he gave it. I got to run in the house to reset it. I'll be right back. That's all right. We'll keep it going. Kind of know what we're talking about. Oh, wish you had the pictures, though. He's controlling all that stuff with the pictures. So, donated that car. We had to chop up the section where I guess the four doors would be, the back part of it, to then turn it in. Because all over the internet, they said it's the exact same car, except the roof line is 1.5 inches lower. Other than that, it's completely the same. So we ended up chopping the car like right here, then off the back. And then you saw like in pictures before, if you follow us, we scrapped the old chassis, took everything off the car that we could save, the cage. We put it on this new one. We cut it all up. But when we set it down, it was not exactly the same. This firewall right over there is actually like 2 inches pushed in. I don't know how the car's geometry, everything else fit fine, but it's like if you take your firewall and bring it 2 inches closer towards you, that's how it sit. So we had to do a bunch more modifications. It turned out fine. It's a little bit tighter for me. I'm 6'2", so it's more of a tighter fit for me. But some of my vertically challenged friends, they can fit in the car a lot better now, which is good for them, I guess. They don't ever drive it too much. I think they're scared, especially like my buddy Chad. He's deathly afraid of the car. Thinks he's going to crash, something like that. Who knows? Oh, back to that. Coming right back up. So what? We got that put on. Car was put back together. We did that in 6 weeks from start to finish. And that was rushing because that was just for the Cletus and Cars event. That was 3 weeks ago. And we ended up getting the car done, I think, 2 days before that we actually had to trailer it to Florida for the event. And the whole time we were chasing a overheating problem, and we could never figure out why the car kept overheating. Every little test start I did or drive around, the car kept overheating. Still couldn't figure it out. We went to Faster Proms down in Bradenton. That's Jeremy Formato who owns it. He let us use his shop to work on it, which was really cool of him. We ended up finding out that the head gasket on the driver's side was flipped upside down. I guess it's a mistake. Engine builder said he doesn't know how he made that mistake, but somehow got the head gasket flipped upside down. And when it's flipped upside down, that's blocking the coolant passage. So the water pump basically wasn't really working then because it couldn't push. We ended up finding that out like 4 hours before we're supposed to do burnouts. So there was no way of fixing that. Nothing we could do, but we got through it. We ended up having a whole lot of fun at the event. It was actually still really awesome. It was like, you know, when your car is broken, you're kind of stress-free. And like when you can't fix it, we didn't have to worry about anything. So that was pretty nice. We actually just hung out with everyone. Didn't really have to do anything crazy. Oh, more people. Hell of a storm here. Ooh, man, everyone's. Guess he's out there towards Kansas area, I believe. Way out there, you know, Dorothy, blow him away. All kind of crazy storms right now. Yep, it's crazy out here is what he's saying. Big storm. Hopefully he's safe, doing well. I'm going to try to keep talking about what he said we were going to talk about, but I just feel like I'm talking to myself. But hey, I guess you guys are here. It's fun. I can see some of the comments that are going on right now. But we're not drinking alone. We got all of our friends with us. Oh, more storms. Glad to see you back. Oh, yeah. Yeah, we had those dirty. We had those head gasket issues. That was not fun. It was just really stressful because I was on our vacation, car-related vacation, and basically my friends, the team members, we're all working in the car figuring out why. I mean, soaked up 2 of the days down in Florida figuring out why, but there's nothing you can do about it. You just, but it is what it is. It's not, can't change anything about it. So we just moved on, ended up enjoying the event, and now that's kind of where Klaus is sitting right now. So for the last 3 weeks has been, you know, the holidays. We got back, it was like 2 days before Thanksgiving. Spend that time, hung out with the family. You do Christmas decorating, shopping, all that kinds of fun stuff. And I haven't even messed with the car. He was pushed into the garage out here. I cleaned everything out, and this is where he sits. So probably next week is when I'm just going to pull off the intake turbos, pull the heads off, and we're going to get the heads milled, make sure they're flat, put new gaskets on. Should be good. Hopefully, should be good. Really haven't even tested the new chassis. Like, I don't even know. Hopefully it launches fine. Hopefully the tires don't cut into the chassis. Hopefully everything's fine, and we can actually make some good runs down the drag strip, because the math says this thing should go faster than 8s, but the parts won't hold it in the rear end. But I'd love to see a 9. I think a 9 would be sweet. Everyone wants like a 9-second car, 10-second car. I think the best I ran ever was like 11:20 at like 50 miles per hour, because at like the 330 foot, a head gasket blew, so we rolled the rest of the way. But there's not much you can do about all that. We'll just keep on keeping on, as he says. Oh, hey, I think we're getting luck. Oh, here we go. I think you might be getting back on. Where's these pictures? Can I pull them up? Oh man, I can't pull the pictures. Maybe I can from my phone. I want to show you guys some stuff. Oh, never mind. He says his internet is completely out and the electric keeps going in and out. So that might be a problem. Seeing if he wants to continue this, try it again. I can show you some of my first cars, things that we've done, future plans, some of our events. But when the host is in a bad storm right now, what can you do? It's just like I was saying, that's Klaus's luck. Something always happens. An engine breaks here. There's another couple engine breaks. There's axle blows here. There's something here. We're trying to do a live interview and internet goes down. Man, some of these things, I swear, what can you do? I don't even know if he'll be able to end the live feed, because he's the one that started it. So it'll just go on forever. Just a video that never ends. You just want to walk around with me. We can go through the house. We can go through everything. Hey, let's go to Ernest right now. Take the laptop with me, and we'll just walk around and show you guys everything. He says I can jump on through my phone, but it won't allow me to put myself onto the show because it's still up on my computer, and it basically, the program thinks his computer's still on. So he's like, this is crazy. Well, that's the internet world. We've had these things before. What can you do? Oh, here, let's see if I can pull up pictures. I printed some off, or took some. Let's see. I don't know how that'll look. First car, right here. You want to talk about that. That is a 96 Mitsubishi Eclipse. That was the non-turbo front-wheel drive model. Of course, I bought it. It was like 2004, right after Fast and Furious, because we wanted to be cool like Paul Walker, but without the explosions. I'm sorry, that was mean. But I had the car for, well, actually like 6 years, but within a year, I turned it into that, full-on Fast and Furious style. Pretty fun. That's what everyone wanted. Ended up doing that and building the motor. Made it look, well, that's not the motor, but more of the car. We built the motor with plans to turbo it. Oh, there we go. There's a motor, good old 420A, fully built. He's got a bunch of the other pictures because I ended up sending them over Facebook Messenger. But what can you do about that? I was just a big DSM guy back in the world. I had my white all-wheel drive Eagle Talon TSI, then my Mitsubishi Eclipse, super cool. Then, of course, added on another one. That's at my first house. We had all the cars in the background. Started off with that, and then a few years after that, moved into the BMW world because you think you're going to be super cool with the BMW. Little do you know, it turns into headaches and lots of crying because everything's broken and it costs a lot of money. But hey, that's what you have to do. Started off, I had an older 5 Series BMW. Then I ended up moving on to my newer one, which he's trying to... he's finding a way to get on through his phone. We will see how this works. So we had that car. There's part of it. That's kind of my current car. BMW, it's a 2012. It's got about 600 horsepower. Well, on the kill tune, it's like 600. Daily tune, it's like 400 something, but good, reliable car. We got some of the team members' cars. We got Chad's. That's his white 335. It's going for like all-wheel drive records. If he ever gets his motor back from some guy that's been trying to scam him forever. We got Mike. That's his big turbo 335. Bunch of fun. You guys can see all this stuff like on our Facebook pages or anything like that should you follow us on. Then for events, some of you have seen, we got these No Half Sends. Norwalk, Ohio, there's the racetrack out there called Summit Motorsports Park. Last year, we were supposed to rent it out twice. We only ended up doing it once because he had to cancel due to lack of staff because, no one wanted to work these days because, Brandon, how he is right now. So no one wants to work. Let's go, Brandon. So these events were really fun. We actually rented out the track for the entire day. We did roll racing, drag racing. There was RC racing. We did pit bike racing, all kinds of fun stuff. It's just basically a big hangout all day. We were supposed to do that again in the fall time, but people didn't work out. So this year we're going to try to do 2 or 3 of the events, and I'm trying to convince him to do burnout contests because the owner of the track, he's like, wow, these are really taking off and getting a lot of internet fame, burnout contests. I'm like, yeah, actually, a lot of people are really loving burnout contests. That's something we should do. And he's like, yeah, if we bring the stuff to the track, I want you to just handle it management. So I'd love to do some more of like the Cletus and Cars type stuff up here in the Norwalk area, just because I think it would be pretty sweet to have some events like that going on. We got that. That'll be next year. We should be at a lot of the Cletus and Cars events. We will be at the Indy one. I know that. All these comments in it. That's funny. We got Cletus and Cars Indy. I believe that'll probably be our first event. I think that's April when that is. Then we will hopefully have our No Half Sends event in Norwalk, which is just fun. You guys come and you literally just race whatever car you want. Come down the track, drag race, roll race. Trying to think about putting in some like tow wig racing where you race your big old diesel truck hauling a trailer, something fun like that down, getting the burnout contest. Then after that, I believe we will have Cletus and Cars Bristol, which you guys, I don't know if anyone knows about that yet, but there'll be Cletus Cars at the Bristol Speedway, that NASCAR track that's there. Then we will be at the Cletus and Cars in Bradenton again. We're going to try to hit Ice Cream Cruise. There's a lot of events that we will try to get to. That's all depending if stuff is working. I mean, we still want to go anyways, but see what it is. It's just go to have fun. Anyways, literally, if you guys go to events, some people don't want to go to car shows or meets or racing because they're like, my car is broken. Like, so go out and hang out, support other people, or just have fun. And you don't have to worry about your car breaking because it's already on jack stands. Anyways, you'll be good. Swear, like some of my friends, Chad, if he had a race car bed, it would probably be on jack stands too. That's just how it is. But it's a lot of fun. We have fun with them. Oh, hey, what's that? Ha, more comments. Love it. Yeah, so that was events. That'll be next year. Oh, also the third Saturday of every month over at Ernest Brewworks. We have our Ernest Brews and Race Car Cruise events. It's like the third Saturday every month at 12 o'clock. That is where we literally, we tell people to think of it as tailgating with race cars. It's not a cars and coffee Sunday morning, 8:00 in the morning thing, because I don't even really like those events. You get a bunch of old guys that have their Ferraris or something. They're kind of stuck up. I mean, I'm not talking about all of them. Some of them kind of stuck up, and I'm like, oh yeah, what have you done to the car? And they're like, I just had it detailed. Anything else? No, I take it out once a month. Okay. That's cool, I guess. Not really my thing. Super early in the morning, cars, coffee. I mean, it is what it is. We actually got a YouTube video out where we took Klaus to a cars and coffee. We got some good feedback. There was one gentleman that said, I don't see the point of any more than 300 horsepower on the road. I'm like, you must not be a car guy. You need way more power than that. But did that event. So ours is more like tailgating. So we tell everyone, just bring out your cars. You park them. There is the beers at Ernest. We bring grills. We just grill out all day. It's all free food. We bring cornhole boards. We hang out. So it's more of a casual hangout with all of your friends. And you can just kind of do whatever you want. We tell people, come and go as you please. It's just more chill. And it's like a Saturday at 12:00. You don't have to get out of bed, detail your car at 6:00 in the morning, do anything crazy like that. We have a lot of fun with it. What did you want to talk about next? So, future plans with Klaus. I don't even know. What should we do? I honestly think what we should do is make an A to B pass on the track, like physically, start at the starting line, go down 1,320 feet, and go past the finish line, like in a racing type of way, to where I'm not rolling or getting pushed off the track or anything like that. Mike says, well, I can't get my phone to log in StreamYard and my service is out. So just when you're done talking to yourself, you can disconnect. Oh, that's funny. Oh, yeah. That's not fun. I guess there's a bunch of towers out. If you guys can read, service out till 11:30. So the storms really knocked out some power. But hey, what can you do? It is what it is. Keep rolling with it. Let's see if he wants to do something later, or if he wants to make his own little video with comments. Feel free to do whatever he wants. I'm fine with anything. So is that future with Klaus? Yeah, we'd love to this year is concentrating on maybe winning the Cletus and Cars Burnout contest and doing some drag racing and actually getting like a 9-second pass. Like that's my goal. Is I want to say 9 point anything. We'll see if that happens. Like when I was talking to Garrett, Cletus is Garrett Mitchell for those who don't know, and he was like, "You're trying to do like his neighbor, Ruby, and Leroy." He's like, "You're trying to do all three of those things with one car, which is extremely hard to do because burnout cars basically break. That's all they're doing. Drag racing cars break, drifting cars break. So when you try to do all three of them, they're just going to break 3 times as fast." But that is what it is on that. I mean, that's the plan. It's really just for fun. A lot of people say, what's the point of the car? What's the point of anything? I'm like, just do it to have fun. It's like, did you guys not forget when you wanted to just have fun growing up? Like, not trying to be a no prep drag racer, set any records, do anything crazy. And just, you want to have fun with the car. That's why it's got 4 seats. We have a thing where we say, like, do it for the kids, because literally, if you saw, we had a sign in Klaus, since he wasn't being able to be raced in Florida, put a sign saying, please feel free to sit in Klaus. Expensive race car. I was like, I don't care. People sit in it, took pictures, and we had so many people saying, thank you. We've never got to sit in a car like this or anything. I'm like, it's just for fun. The event before that, when it was running fine, I had, there was like a rain delay. All the fans, no one knew what to do. I was having kids come over, sit in the car, rev them, push a 2-step button, shoot fire out of it. Everyone was just having a blast. Because at the end of the day, car people, but it's just a car. It can be fixed. There's nothing crazy about it. You need to get all the younger generation into cars because they're turning into the people. I've heard literally younger teenagers say, what's the point of having your own car? I don't need a car. I'll take public transportation somewhere, or I'll take this. And I'm like, we're losing it. These younger kids don't even care about cars anymore. We got to get them hooked on it, get them in with the turbos, get them in with fire, drifting, tire smoke, burnouts. Everyone likes that kind of stuff. It's fun. Like, I'm not a big SEMA guy. Most cars, you just look around and look at artwork. That's not me. PRI, which just happened, it's great. Technical, see the engine, see the turbos, how all that stuff works. But tire smoke, engine noise, that's where it's at. Like, maybe electric car as a daily driver, I could do. Not as a race car. Like, maybe as the family daily driver, I could definitely go for a Tesla. But any more than that, you just need the engine noise and smoke. It's just way better. But I think that's all we have to talk about today. Mike actually wants to reschedule, and I guess we might do a little talk or a recap. Might have some other stuff to go, but I've talked to you guys by myself for 20 some minutes. So unless you just want to sit around and watch me drink beer and wrench on a car, lose 10 millimeter socket, look for the wrench that I just had in my hand like 5 seconds ago, answer my wife when she's like, are you still outside? You want to come in and take care of our son? Unless you want to see any of that, I think we'll go ahead and we'll end it off there. Have your guys, have a good beer. Love your family. Don't have to send anything in life, and have fun. And we will see you guys on the next one.
Guys, listen, this is insanity. Oh my God. If you folks are still here, I want to say thanks for hanging out. I really have no idea what happened there. It looks like the internet is out at my house and in most of Bentonville. So thunder clapped, stuff shut off, the lights flickered, and I was gone. And then thankfully, Carl is good enough on camera there to keep me going. So I messed with it in the shop for 10 or 15 minutes, trying to get, I thought it had just reset the little, satellite deal that we've got that runs stuff out there. And that was not what happened. It actually knocked everything out. So, I don't typically do these on my phone. So jumped on the phone, ran inside. Jumped on the phone, ran inside, and tried to get set up here, and it wouldn't do that either. Reset the modem, everything on our service provider was saying it was fine, and couldn't get the modem to come back up or anything like that. So, anyways, I'm going to end it. We are trying to work out a time to reschedule. Thank you so much for hanging out. I appreciate him for taking care of all that, and for the folks that are still here, thank you so much. We appreciate the support. I'm out of here.